This is a review video for the Chapter 8 practice test number 2. So we did one practice test for Chapter 8. Now we have a second practice test for Chapter 8 because I know Chapter 8 is kind of challenging. So I wanted to give you even more practice. So like all of these review videos, you can feel free to fast forward, rewind, skip around. You don't have to watch this entire video. You can go to the problems, go to the parts where I talk about the problems that you need help with. And I'm going to start off, like always. Excuse me. By just showing you all the answers. So you can pause this video right now and look at the answers to numbers 1 through 7. Then here's the answers to 8, 9, and 10. Then 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. That is all of the answers, so you can see how you did out of 15. Give yourself a %. And then if you tried this bonus problem down here, the answer was 4 centimeters. In case you tried that, that's the answer. All right, let's go through this problem by problem. I'm going to try to not take too long. Number 1 and number 2, I think, are the easiest problems on here. It's just finding like terms and combining like terms. So I've got addition on this one, and I've got 3c squared and another c squared. So that is 4c squared. I've got negative 8c plus another minus 8c. Sorry, the focus on this video right now is not too great. Come on, Elmo. Refocus. So you've got minus 16c, and then 5 plus negative 6 is negative 1. Same idea on number 2, except on number 2 you've got one big difference. It's a subtraction problem. And on these problems, number 1 and 2, the only real worry or concern I have is you just need to make sure you get your pluses and your minuses straight. And be careful, because sometimes this one doesn't match with this one. Sometimes this one matches with this one, okay? And then it's minus negative, so it's really 7 plus positive 3. So that's 10u squared x. All right, we got that part. Then the minus 3ux matches up with the minus 4ux. Minus 3 minus 4 is minus 7ux. And then finally, we've got the ux squared. You've got 4 of them minus 2 of them, so that becomes plus 6ux squared. All right, doesn't really matter which order you put these 3 terms in, as long as you've got those 3 terms, you are good to go. Number 3 and number 4, and actually number 5 as well, are just FOIL problems, or double distribute problems. So all you're going to do is first times first. That's 8y squared, outer times outer, 8y, inner times inner, negative 28y, last times last, negative 28. And then you're going to see if you can combine any like terms, and on this one you can combine these two guys, and that's why your answer is 8y squared minus 20y minus 28. And that's it. We multiplied it out. We're good to go. On number 4, same process, just a little bit more complicated binomials here. Negative 2 times 3 is negative 6. R squared times r, that's r times r times r, that's r cubed. And then negative 2 times negative 4 is positive 8 r squared n. And then plus 3rn, or nr, or I guess it doesn't really matter. Usually you go in alphabetical order, so maybe I should have put the n's in front of the r's, but does it really matter too much? Not too much. Okay, so minus 4n squared. And on this one, if you notice, none of those 4 terms are like terms, so we can't really simplify it from there. That's just the way it is, and we'll leave it just like that. On number 5, we're going to take this binomial and we're going to square it. And remember, you're not just going to put n squared and 36. You've got to square this binomial, which means you've got to do n minus 6 times n minus 6, because that's what it means to square something. Multiply it by itself. So n squared minus 6n minus 6n plus 36, n squared minus 12n plus 36. If you kind of understand how this works, you might have been able to go straight from here to here if you kind of saw how those patterns work out, but you don't have to know the patterns to get the shortcut. You can just do it the regular way, and that's totally fine. All right, now we're getting to the real crux of the Chapter 8 test. This is the make it or break it part. Factoring on 6 through 10, and then the next problem's on the backside where it was solving. This is where hopefully you are good, because this is where I'm anticipating the difficulty gets a little bit higher. So on number 6, we're going to do GCF factoring. What do they have in common? I'm seeing an 8. Maybe there's more, but we'll just start with that. They also all have an A, and they also have a B. So this is going to be 11AB, because this times this makes that. This is going to be 3A, because this times this makes that. This is going to be 4B, because 8 times 4, 32, A, B, B, B squared. And then just check to make sure. Can I factor anything else out? Can I do magic numbers? Can I find a difference of squares, et cetera, et cetera? And on this problem, the answer is no. That's as much as we can factor, so we'll go ahead and stop right there. On number 7, we're going to do factoring by grouping, because we've got 4 terms, and so I am going to factor out what I can factor out from the first 2, and it looks like on this, I can factor out a y squared. So I'll have 4x squared minus 9. On this one, I'm going to factor out a 5, and that's going to give me 4x squared minus 9. Oh, good. I have a match, 4x squared minus 9. And then y squared plus 5 goes over here. But we're not done. Ooh, on this problem, this is a difference of squares, right? That's 2x times 2x, that's 9, or 3 times 3. So you're going to have 2x plus 3, 2x minus 3, and then y squared plus 5. So that actually factors into 3 binomials. That's how that one works. And it doesn't, again, matter which order you put those binomials in, but that is that. All right, number 8 is a simple magic numbers problem. This is -9 times -2. This is -9 plus -2. So once you've got that, you've got your answer. It's just a matter of finding those answers. So you're going to take your 18 and you're going to run through the possibilities. Is it 1 times 18? Is it 2 times 9? Is it 3 times 6? Positive versions, negative versions, and eventually you'll figure out which combination gives you the magic combination that gets you to your answer. All right, then we get to number 9, which is not the easy magic numbers. This is the not so fun version where you can guess and check if you want to, or you can do this kind of a thing where we use this number to help us split this number. So 28 is, let's see, 16, -2 times -14, and -2 plus -14. All right, so then I'm going to make this 7x squared minus 2x minus 14x plus 4. And all I can factor out of this is an x. All I can factor out of this is a -2. That gives me 7x minus 2. Okay, good. Boom, boom. 7x minus 2 is my first binomial, and then x minus 2 is my second binomial. And if you're not sure that you did that correctly, remember, you can always refoil this out to make sure that you did it right as a way to check your answer. I'll spare you that for now for the sake of time, but you can do that if you really want to make sure that you're doing things correctly. All right, on number 10, this is a difference of squares. So 196 is 14 times 14, and 81 is 9 times 9. The w squared and the z squared gives you a w and a z, so all you got to do is, and again, if you're not feeling 100% confident that you did that one right, just double distribute and check it, and you'll see that it works. All right, next up, we're going to flip over to the backside, where we will be solving some of these equations. On number 11, it's already factored for you, so all you have to do is use the zero product property, which says if something times something equals 0, either a equals 0 or b equals 0. So if something times something equals 0, either 3m minus 2 equals 0 or 9m plus 5 equals 0. So I'm going to add 2. I'll have 3m equals 2, divide by 3. I get m equals 2/3. Or, when I solve this side, I get m equals -5/9. So 2/3 or -5/9 should be your two solutions on this one. For number 12, you don't have a 0, and we would like to have a 0. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this away, and I'm going to cancel this out, so that basically I have a 0 over here on the right side, because this is gone, and now I have y squared minus 15y plus 56 equals 0. And I just have to find magic numbers. In this case, my two magic numbers are -7 and -8. When you multiply them together, you get this. When you add them together, you get that. So my two answers are 7 or 8. So we're going to keep on solving some equations here. On number 13, we don't have the equals 0 that we want, so I'm going to take away 22x from both sides, and I'm going to make this 6x squared minus 22x equals 0. Then I'm going to factor out a 2x. When I factor out a 2x, I get 3x. 2x times 3x is 6x squared, minus 11. 2x times 11 is 22x. Equals 0, and now I'm going to use the zero product property and say either 2x equals 0 or 3x minus 11 equals 0. And so if I solve 2x equals 0, I'm going to divide by 2. 0 divided by 2 is 0. Or if I solve this one, I'm going to add 11. I'll get 3x equals 11. I'll have to divide by 3. So 0 or 11/3 is my answer to that one. All right, then on number 14, we're going to get something similar. We have the 0 that we want, which is great, that's nice. And we have a difference of squares. So this is 8x and 12, right? If you unsquare and unsquare. So I can simply factor this as 8x plus 12, 8x minus 12, and then I'm just going to solve each one. So I'll add 12. Wait, hold on a second. Did your math teacher really just think that 16, when you unsquare it, is 8? Yep. Been a long day. That should be 4. 4 times 4 makes 16, obviously. Heyo, okay. Glad if I do it this way, I've got 4x equals -12. Either way, when you divide 12 by 4, you're going to get 3. It's just on this one you get a -3, and on that one you get a +3. So I would just go ahead and say x equals plus or minus 3. Or you could say 3 or -3 on that problem. One last little note on 11, 12, 13, and 14. If you have time when you're taking the actual Chapter 8 test, don't forget, whenever you're solving an equation, you can always check your solutions. How do you check your solutions? Take 2/3 and plug it back in here and here. or take negative 5/9 and plug it back in here, or take positive 3, plug it in here to see if it gives you 0, take negative 3, plug it in here to see if it gives you 0. You can always check your solutions to know if you got it right or wrong. And then if it didn't come out right, you can fix it. All right, we got number 15, a word problem about sisika, hitting a golf ball into the air. Now, golf balls fly pretty high into the air. They can have a lot of air time, right? So find the time it takes the ball to reach 49 feet above the ground. I don't know, could it maybe take a second or so? Or a fraction of a second? I don't know. We'll have to see how this problem plays out. So 49 feet above the ground is a height, so I'm going to put 49 right there. So I'm going to put 49 equals negative 16t squared plus 56t. Then I'm going to get the 0 that I want by actually moving this over here by adding 16t squared and moving this over there by subtracting 56t. The reason I'm going to do it that way is I want that negative 16t squared to turn into a positive 16t squared. Then this will be a minus 56t when you subtract it over here. That 49 is still going to be positive. I'm going to get equals 0. I'm going to try to factor this thing and see if I can solve for t. I don't think I can factor a common factor out. So I think I'm going to have to do the icky, yucky, pain in the butt way of factoring, where I do, 16 times 49, yuck. I'm going to have to get my calculator out of my drawer. Hold on. Calculator time. 49 times 16. 784. I'm going to have to split this 56 up somehow with 784. How in the world is that going to work? I don't know. Let's find out. So I need two numbers that multiply to make 784. And then they add up to, okay, they're both going to be negative. They're both going to be negative. They're both going to be negative. Well, let's just try 784 divided by 4. Nope, it's not 4 and 196. 784 divided by 8. 8 and 98. No, it's not that. 784 divided by 12? No. 784 divided by 18? No. I'm just totally randomly guessing here. And this is basically what you're going to have to do on this problem. You're going to have to try to find these magic numbers somehow, some way. 784 divided by 22. Nope. 784 divided by 24. Nope. 784 divided by, I don't know, 26? Oh man, 30 and 26 would make 56, but it's just not quite right. How about 784 divided by 28? 28 and 28, wait, what's 28 plus 28? I did it, I found it. It's 28 and 28. 28t, 28t, that multiplies to make 784. That adds up to 56. Whew, good times. Okay, then I'm going to factor by grouping. 16 and 28, I can factor a 4t out of that. That would be 4t minus 7. 28 and 49. Oh, I can factor a 7 out of that. 7 times 4t, 7 times negative 7 would make positive 49. Oh, hey. Oh my goodness, this was a perfect square trinomial the whole time. It was, if I would have known that, this would have been much easier. Oh boy. Yeah, so on this problem, you're going to get 7/4 because you're going to basically have 4t minus 7 equals 0. So you'll add 7. That gives you 4t equals 7. You'll divide by 4. So the answer to this is 7/4 of a second, or 7/4 seconds, or I guess you could call that 1 3/4 seconds, or 1.75 seconds. Either any of those would be a good answer to that. And that does seem reasonable for a golf ball to take almost 2 seconds to reach that height in the air. Because, you know, golf balls can sail for quite a while. Okay, that is the 15 main problems on this. What about this bonus problem? Could you maybe have gotten 16 out of 15 and gotten more than 100% on this? Possibly. For this bonus problem, I put this little note with this weird looking little Star Wars character. Can you do this without looking at that picture? Could we do this even if I didn't give you a picture? Well, could you have drawn that picture just by reading the information? I think so. The width of a rectangle, okay, rectangle. The width is 5 more than the height. Okay, so let's call this the height, and then the width is 5 more than that. The area is 36. Well, how do you find the area of a rectangle? Don't you do that to find the area? I think so. And that's going to equal 36. Okay, this is looking like a quadratic type of a thing here. So I'm going to have h squared plus 5h. I'll minus the 36 over here, get me my 0. And now it's just a magic numbers problem to figure out what h must be. So what times what makes 36? That might add up to a positive 5. How about 9 times negative 4? 9 plus negative 4. This is going to be h plus 9. H minus 4 equals 0. So either h equals negative 9 or h equals 4. Wait, could the height of a rectangle be negative 9 centimeters? I don't think so. So the height must be 4 centimeters. That's how you could have done this one without even looking. But there was your safety net if you needed it. All right, that's it. Thank you guys for watching and listening. Hopefully this was helpful for you. If it wasn't, I apologize. I will see you guys later. Adios.